Hey everybody, you're watching the AFTERBUZZ TV After Show for Coupled, Season 1, Episode 10, and we're breaking down the finale tonight. Stay tuned.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
The song is Red Dress by Magic.
Very suitable.
That's a shout out to Titi and her red dress.
Yes.
Nice choice. Nice choice.
Hello, everybody. We've got an awesome show planned for you tonight. We've got some very special guests here to help us break down the finale. We've got Brandon Smith in studio.
Woo! How y'all doing?
Give him your social media quickly, sir.
Brandon Smith TV, that's Instagram and Twitter. You can find me on Facebook at Brandon Smith TV as well.
Nice.
Everything's Brandon Smith TV.
There you go. Not very hard to find, guys. Reach out. And of course, we've got Miss Ashley Reitz herself on Skype. How you doing, pretty lady? Oh, we got a loud jam here. Can you hear us? She looks beautiful in the meantime, but we're getting here. Woohoo! How you doing there, lady? And give them your social media.
All right, hey guys, you can reach me at Instagram, it's Ashley R. Reitz, and then on Twitter, it's Ashley Reitz.
Well, hello and welcome to AFTERBUZZ. We're so excited to have you guys here.
Yes.
So how does it feel to be completed and watch the finale where you guys both kind of had a big moment tonight?
Yeah, it's been a bittersweet moment to see my favorite show off TV. A little upset about that, but it feels great to be coupled.
I feel like I just got done running a race, and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's all done.
Is there a feeling of relief right now? Is there a feeling of relief knowing that it's done?
Yeah, actually for me it is.
For me anyways.
Are you guys reading cue cards?
Are you reading my mind, Ash? What's up?
Oh my goodness. So let's break it down. We're going to talk about the episode. A lot happened. We kind of see the fates of every couple. And we had our predictions last week. So are you guys kind of surprised, first of all, with how things turned out? Or was this kind of right on the dot?
Mostly on the dot.
Mostly.
Yeah. Some of mine changed with getting to watch the first hour of tonight with the family and friends that got to come meet the other person. That was a nice surprise.
Mm-hmm.
I think for some of the couples it changed a lot because, we see with Ashley that dynamic kind of changed things for her and how BT responded with his dad being there. Lisa, and her brother being there,
well, we're talking about a scene, right?
Right, Paul grilled, but there's a lot of dynamics where it really made it real when you bring in that family member, like Alicia with her mom,
Yeah.
Absolutely. So we'll start with you then, Ashley. How was that experience of meeting somebody that was close to BT, for instance, for the first time, aside from what you know about him?
Yeah, honestly, it was wild. His dad walked through the door, and you could just tell that they were super close. And he had talked about his dad, and kind of told me little bits here and there about their relationship. And to see that in real life, and just to see them, they grabbed each other, and it was the tightest hug I've ever seen. So it just made everybody kind of emotional just to see that bond that they had. But yeah, it was really cool. It was really, good to see that.
And on the flip side, getting to introduce your sister to him.
Yeah.
How was that?
Yeah, it was awesome. I had no idea that she was coming. So, when she walked through that door, she made a joke. She was like, I know that I snorted. I was probably snorted.
You guys look so similar.
Oh, yeah.
It was weird because just to see her come through the door, it was I honestly couldn't control the emotion, which was really weird because I feel like I'm, I don't know. In that show, I guess I just lose it all the time. But it was good. It was good to have somebody that knows you, and they can tell if you're lying, and they know when you're telling the truth. Yeah. And so I knew I couldn't hide anything from her. So to have her meet him and to see how we interacted was kind of a relief for me, knowing that she would be able to, at the end of it, be like, I can tell if you're lying,
Did she?
It was nervous.
You go. I gotta know. Did you guys? You obviously didn't know who was coming. How did they say how the process was of who was coming? Of some people had friends or brothers or parents.
Yeah, basically, I think that they like have PIs doing some major like behind the scenes work and just wanted to like they went on like social media and whatever they could to find like who we were close to, who was available. So, you know, some of us had family members and then some of us had friends. But it was kind of a last minute thing too. A lot of these people, you know, couldn't get off work or whatever, really had to you know, clear their schedules to get there. So I know, you know, it was a huge effort on their part and as well as the people to get them there. So it was really special because of that.
Hey, someone's coming to me and saying, I got a free trip to Anguilla for you. I'm telling you, I'll quit my job.
Right.
I'm ready to ditch the dirt and fly on out there.
Did she say anything in particular that made you like change your mind about BT or sway you in one direction?
No, you know, the cool thing was she said to me when she was there, she was like, you know that we trust you and that your judgment is good. So if you're feeling something, then go with your gut. And she's, you know, I asked her, I'm like, how do you think our family would react if I, you know, get back and I say, hey, I'm dating this guy, like, let's, you know, welcome him in. And my family, like, they would welcome anybody. And like, they're so cool. They're so supportive. But obviously they want what's best for me. So, so she just said, you know, use your best judgment, and if you bring them home, then you bring them home, and if not, then we're going to support you either way. So that was really, you know, good to hear. She wasn't going to be like, oh, I don't like him, you can't bring him home. She's they weren't, you know, super opinionated.
The thing I loved about your interaction with your sister that stood out to me, I mean, maybe other couples and family members had similar conversations, but you told your sister like the good, the bad, the ugly. Like you didn't sugarcoat it.
Didn't hide
and you know, and again, maybe some of the other couples talked to their family members and didn't sugarcoat it either. We just didn't get to see those parts of their conversations. But I know it's so hard to be honest and say, you know what? This is where we don't mesh, and I don't know if I can deal with that when you're trying to give them the best first impression of this person that you have so many feelings for.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely wasn't like I don't bring people home all the time. Like I've really only probably brought a few guys home, and it's after like I'm sure about them. And so there, it's like you meet someone there, you get to know them there, and then ready or not, here comes a family member. So I knew that I wanted to, you know, to be honest with her. Because like I said, she would just probably be able to pinpoint it and call me out, you know, if she read anything weird on my face. But yeah, I was really happy that, you know, she had showed up that day. And, you know, she's kind of like, I don't know, we're very similar in the way that we think. So it was like just a relief, just to have her there and to hear what she had to say. And so it was good. It was good stuff.
And so how was that experience for you, Brandon? You had your cousin come on, I believe. How was that? And what did he think about meeting Titi and kind of seeing your dynamic?
Well, I didn't know who was going to come, so...
you were a little fearful.
Yeah, so it was good to have him come because he knows who I am and he knows what I've been through as far as being an ex-athlete and things like that with the groupie love. So it was good to have him there to, you know, to make sure that I was comfortable doing what I was doing as far as am I willing to be coupled and really willing to take that next step. And he seemed to be comfortable with Titi, so, you know, it showed me a lot that, you know, Titi really is a special woman.
Who did you think was coming? Because you were, I believe, fourth, maybe? Yeah, you were fourth on the person coming through the door.
Yeah.
Who did you think? You obviously, I'm sure at that point knew someone was coming.
Yeah.
Right. I had no clue. I figured it'd probably either be my mom or my cousin Jamar. So Jordan was a surprise. He's in San Antonio, so it was good to see him and get to catch up with him and for Titi to meet him as well. So.
Awesome. Yeah.
And what did he advise for you to find in a girl? That way you can avoid the groupie love or kind of not give into temptation.
Well, like I said, he knows me, so he knows I need like a open woman, someone who's confident.
That's Titi.
Yeah. Because I'm a people person, so, you know, I like to talk to people. I like to meet new people, and she has to, understand that. So he knew that was important for me. So
Yeah, she's a Disney princess. You can't beat that.
She's a people person too.
absolutely.
Talks to anybody.
Yeah, young and old. You can't beat that.
I wanted to ask you, Ash, now that you've seen it back and now that time has passed, and you did decide to leave before we get to the whole helicopter, is she, isn't she, is he, isn't he, how are things now? I mean, did you question your decision after the fact?
Yeah, I mean, all I knew was when I was there and I was like in that moment, like I said, I knew that I had to go. Whether or not like down the road something happened or whatever, at that point, I was like, I think that he and I have come to a point where we are not going to be able to move any further here. And I felt confused. And actually when he, it shows him coming and he asked me to stay even after I had made up my mind. And I was like, oh man, like, do I not? Like, is this, am I going to regret making this decision? But I don't know. I really think that you have to listen to your gut. And I just knew, I'm like, you know what? No, I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to leave. And if I regret this later, then I'll regret it later. But right now, I got to go.
I loved your line when you were talking to Alicia. You said, quote, "You can't be afraid of hurting him to the extent of you being hurt." Or was it, did she say that? Either she said that to you or you said that to her. And I think she said that to you. And I think that's a very just poignant line that it's true that, you want to be able to be with someone and be able to encourage them and better them. But you can't,
right.
There's a balancing act.
Right, absolutely.
Yeah. I think that, too, I didn't, and I meant that in the least selfish way, but I think that, if you're in a relationship and you feel like it's not good for you and it's not good for you together, then don't stay in that. But, it was like, I don't know. I mean, and I really appreciated, Alicia just, having that conversation with me. And especially again, looking back, I'm like, wow, I did need someone in that moment. And it was good to kind of talk some of that out because I normally keep things like that kind of bottled up because I try to figure them out myself. So talking to her at that point really, I think was a good thing. But yeah, and not, this is the thing. I want people to know I, in no way, shape, or form, with BT, I wasn't afraid that the situation was actually going to hurt me or anything like that, emotionally or anything. It just was I realized at that time that we needed to figure some things out if it was going to work, and it was just more healthy to be apart.
Yeah.
And it was in my best interest, and it was in his best interest at that point too. So, I didn't make that out of fear or out of oh gosh,
Yeah.
So
I don't think that showed. I think what you're saying you wanted to portray is what showed. I don't think I didn't feel like in any way it was something else. I mean, the whole show, watching you with him, I feel so inspired by just the all-in sort of love for him and for the relationship and wanting it to grow. But also, I mean, truly, I've been in a similar situation, and I'll tell you now, I was not as strong as you to kind of at the first or second or third, whatever sign of
a red flag.
It's healthy. Well, not red flag, but that it's healthier for us to be apart right now, no matter what happens later, than it is for us to be together, because we can't move forward as a couple in this moment. I wasn't able to be as strong to say, you know what, my gut says this, I gotta listen to my gut now, even though the love is there and the desire is there to keep going forward. So both ways, I'm like, oh my gosh, how can she be such a rock for him? And then how can she be so strong to do what's right, even though it's so hard?
Well, in that too, we see BT, obviously see her talk to her, part of the reason that I think he did that, he got some advice from the advice giver on the show.
Gosh.
Yes.
Brandon, who's been the truth drop, he's about to drop bombs,
Yes.
you know,
Yeah.
throughout the episode.
Got to.
So much good advice.
Yeah.
You know, talk
like-
about your conversation with him, and you know, this even throughout the show. Did you feel like you were, you know, good at giving advice to people and just open in that?
Well, I always want to lend a helping hand whenever I can. So, you know, any way I can, I will. With BT, we're both lions in the jungle, you know, alpha male. So I knew what he was kind of going through as far as with his pride. So I just wanted to help him, you know, help him learn to put that to the side sometimes, because even I'm working on it, you know, sometimes with TT, as you can see, sometimes it's kind of hard for me. But just even though that happened, whatever happened, the argument that they had, try to create new energy. Whether it's happy energy or whether it's, you know, understanding or, you know, apologizing to her and letting her know that, you know, he's working on his behavior or he's willing to work on his behavior.
Right.
So that was the kind of advice that I wanted to give him, you know, just give him some confidence, you know, get him thinking positively instead of, you know, worried about what happened and what he did wrong.
Right.
In that
And
moment.
you practiced what you preach because you were able to make amends with Titi kind of after that scuffle you guys had about social media and, you know, being on your phones while watching TV. So how did you guys kind of get through that conversation?
Well, I felt like it was misconstrued what the argument was about. It was more. It wasn't me trying to, you know, be demanding or anything like that. It was just more of me trying to get her to understand my point of view. Like, I don't want to argue over me and my phone and you watching TV. If it's something that you want to do, you have the freedom, the right to do that without me, you know, being over your shoulders or, you know, coming to mess with you. I want you to have your time. So, I wanted to apologize I wanted to apologize to Titi if I came off kind of strong, by saying, hey, if we're watching a movie and I decide to get on my phone, forget the movie, I'm in the phone. No, it wasn't like that.
Yeah.
You know, and then I try to understand her point where she was just trying to say, you know, are you willing to compromise? You know, if there is a time you're on your phone and I say, hey, you know, can we talk? Can we do something else? And, you know, will I be willing to get off my phone? And of course I'm willing to do that. But at that moment, it was just more about me asking her, is it a problem if you're watching TV and I'm in my phone, or vice versa, you know?
Right.
So, but I knew she was kind of hurt between that. So I just wanted to apologize to her and let her know that that wasn't what I meant by that, as far as not willing to compromise in that situation.
Yeah. And I think it's important that you're willing to have those conversations, which is why you guys were able to leave together tonight, and she looked absolutely amazing, so I'm sure you were pretty psyched too.
Shout out to Titi,
Yeah.
baby. You look amazing.
And
Red's
you know-
my favorite color.
Yeah, right? She pulled it off like
she
a
took
queen.
notes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So it's so cool because all these girls look amazing on the island, and all
they're
I'm wondering
beautiful.
is, how do they do it? Like, what are they bringing?
Well, apparently Ashley did all of their nails, which we heard that you were
Really?
like, yes. Did you have BeautyCon boxes with you guys?
You know what? Since I had like my own, you know, room and whatever, and we did, like, my room had the big bathroom and whatever, and I did, like, it wasn't all selfish. Like, BT got to use all that. No, I don't want people to think that I hog that. But yeah, like in the bathroom, like, we would just like line up our nail polish, and it was kind of like a free for all. Like, you could just walk in, and, you know, Lindsay and I a couple times would just like chill outside and, you know, paint each other's nails and all that stuff. So yeah, I mean, I went to, you know, to school for all that, so I have fun doing that, and
Nice.
yeah,
Nice.
yeah, it was a good time.
For people who don't have the experience.
Yeah.
For
those that
girls like
don't-
me.
Yeah, and we can all use a little help
Hey, the
here
guys
and
on
there.
there, we got to look good too.
I mean, hey, there might be something for you in a BeautyCon box.
Why not? Why
I
not?
mean, they
Exactly.
put together all the products,
Mhm.
you
Yeah,
know,
so
like,
it's a
you know,
good
the
option.
best beauty gurus, which is like amazing.
And Brandon can do these on his phone all the time. So you know what? All you got to do, you go to beautycon.com/box. You know, you can get a little discount.
Of course.
You know, use
and
the
you
code.
get $150 worth of product for $30, so that's a
Not
total
too
steal.
bad at all.
Yeah.
Not too
Yeah.
bad.
Wait, tell them the code, Michael. Tell
Tell
them
them
the
the
code.
code. Use the code BOXBUZZ. You get 20% off. So,
You got
So-
There you go,
and
ladies.
beauty can be expensive,
And
right?
gentlemen.
So yeah,
I mean, 20% is 20%.
it's a box. If you're not familiar with BeautyCon box, it's a box that's delivered to your door every season. So you get beauty products for the season.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So
I want it.
right?
My eyeshadow in the
Actually like
spring needs to be different than my eyeshadow in the fall.
Okay,
Yeah.
you sound a little sarcastic
You
because
need
you don't wear
pastel
eyeshadow.
colors in the spring. You're
Right.
so
But-
right for the pants. It would totally rock.
But and it's
I know
made
about my
probably.
pants colors.
yes.
It's probably made by people like Ashley because it's made by beauty gurus, so people that are trained and understand how colors and seasons kind of go together. So people like me don't have to be kept guessing as to, you know, am I allowed to wear purple in the fall or is purple a spring color or things like
Right.
that.
We're
so,
purple all year round. Let's go. Come on.
Yeah. And if you sign up for an annual payment plan, you save $20.
Nice.
So that's an
yep.
extra bit of
There you go.
savings.
Check them out.
BuzzBox,
Gotta do it.
20% off your prescription. Oh my gosh. Subscription or
I love it.
prescription.
I
Some
know,
people
I'm
should
ordering
use
one.
it. I should
They
use
do.
it.
I mean, yeah, and they
So-
even have the Redken sea salt spray, which all these girls were walking the textured hair on the beach, and it was looking so good. Everybody you can see tonight was having the choice whether or not they were going to get on the helicopter or just get on the boat and head home. So that was kind of a rough moment.
Yeah.
But
Let's
then
get into
again,
it.
It was, I mean, just the way Terrence, I don't know, like,
Yes.
I don't know if anybody watched, like, the Bachelorette stuff yesterday.
Uh-huh.
You know, Chris, they were joking about how Chris is always, like, nobody likes when he walks in the room because it's bad news. And I
That's
sort of
true.
felt like that was kind
Yeah.
of from Terrence. Like, I was like, oh my gosh, like, you're just like Chris. You
Yeah.
only come with bad news because
At
it comes.
first, the first half of the season, it's like, oh my goodness, this is
Yeah.
good, this is good. And then you're like, oh, he's not. Oh,
Yeah, he's
there are
only
more
coming-
people.
Totally.
Right? So
Yeah,
he
wait for
shows
it.
up and he's like, guys one way, girls the other way.
Yeah.
Like, kind of like, no more talking. This is it. Time to go.
Yep.
And I think with that, I noticed a sense of panic on Lisa's face. At least that's what I saw.
Yes.
That's what I got from that whole scene in
Yeah.
general. Like just Lisa kind of being
It
taken
struck
back.
her the
like,
most.
Yeah.
I think that was one of the couples that there was the most questions
Oh, absolutely.
about.
Yeah.
Because they got along really well on the surface, but we're wondering if the foundation was there.
Right.
Right.
Is that something that you guys saw being there? Did you think that they would? Did you think that they wouldn't be coupled?
Did you want to go, Ash?
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. I thought they would be coupled.
Okay.
I actually like Ben and Alicia together. I just like the fire, the fun, and they just
Yeah.
like let loose.
Yeah.
I love that, you know. And they just felt so comfortable, even though that they didn't come to the island with each other. But that's the dynamic of the show. That's to me what made it so brilliant, because it's life. You can actually fall in love with someone else, and I didn't think it was like fake at all between those two, and that's what I liked about them. So I was kind of feeling for Lisa at that moment, like she doesn't know, and you don't get to talk to him, but it worked out, so I'm happy for him.
Yeah.
good
Well,
for them.
and I would say, looking at their relationship and how fun and easy and sort of playful it was, at least from what we see, you don't see a lot of those deeper conversations that like we see Lindsay and Alex have, and she's kind of asking him the questions about the future. So in that moment, it's like, wait, I never talked to him about that. How do I know what he's gonna do?
Yeah.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
like, there was maybe some, but we don't see.
And at least the way they edited it, it was like Ben was having his doubts. Like that's how I
yeah,
felt too.
well, I mean, and I think that was real.
Yeah,
I don't
like real doubts. And
yeah.
he's up there in age. No offense, Ben. You're a little older than everybody else on the island. And
Up
you know,
there
but
in
he,
age.
you know, he's looking to settle
And-
down
yeah.
right now.
And they
Like,
addressed that
yeah.
when his who came for him? Was it
His
his
dad.
dad?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh,
And
dressed
said,
like
you know,
in a Ben
you've
outfit.
been in the 13-year difference.
Yeah.
You know, this is not as much. Obviously, you're to that point where you know you want to be able to settle down.
Yeah.
And every decision is more important.
So it wouldn't have surprised me if he got on that helicopter, to be honest with you. I didn't know what to expect.
Exactly.
But if he got on the helicopter and went away, I would have been like, you know what? I could see why
Yeah.
he did that.
Props to the
I'm
editors
happy
for
he
making
did it,
it
but
seem
yeah.
that it could
Good
go
job,
either
editors.
way.
I
You've been
know.
fooling me all. They've been fooling me all season.
What is it, Ashley?
I want to say too, like with both Ben and Lisa, like I had like deep conversations with both of them, and I know people didn't necessarily get to see that
Yeah.
because they just got to see a lot of the fun. But both of them, like I love them. Like they are genuine people, and like I think everybody when they first got together, they were like, oh, is this just like a like a sexual thing? But it really wasn't. Like they really do. And probably just because I've seen more of them, and even outside of the show I've spent time with them, and they are just, I just like them as individuals, and I like them together but they have a lot of depth, and they're just like really great. They're great listeners. Like anytime that I like wanted to talk to them about something, they both would just be like right there, ready to listen, give good advice. So there is that depth there.
And there's definitely a spark there. There's a spark there.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
undeniable.
And I respect. I have to say this because I have to respect Lisa for going for what she wants.
Yeah,
I mean,
leaving Taylor.
It's very attractive when a woman goes after what she wants. I just had to put that out there.
Noted.
Amen.
You gotta have that.
If Brandon says
All right,
it's true.
ladies. Yeah. Brandon always gives good advice.
Brandon says that it's true.
Single ladies, you gotta go what you want.
I do what I can.
It's so true. And we even see Lisa, and she's kind of freaking out before he arrives, and she's like, I've had so much anxiety, but I love what he says afterwards, and he's like, she's a strong, confident woman who makes me laugh, and we can kind of see that throughout the season, but to hear him say it once more and to see their moment at the end of that,
Oh, man,
it
it's
was
great.
it was so worth the wait.
Yeah.
Really sweet.
And of course we had Tyler and Alicia. So wow, I mean, you guys kind of called this last week, and I had hopes that they might stay together.
It's too different.
I just didn't feel.
They're too different, and I think that show. And I'm wondering, and I don't know if you can elaborate on this. When you went in to talk with Alicia about your issues, it almost seemed like she was pretty distraught and emotional at all. I don't know if was that about Tyler. Was there?
At that point, I think that she knew. She was like, listen, we came into this late. I don't know how many days they had their total together, but she was like, you know what? We came in here. We're giving it a go. It's just, I think she felt like because of the lack of time, like they really didn't get to explore everything that the other couples got to explore.
Yeah.
So I think that she was going over things in her mind, like, it's do you want to tell the world that you're going to leave here coupled with someone, or like what happens if you just break it off and it could have been something great. So I think that she was thinking, I don't think she was super distraught because nothing like big was going on in their relationship. It just was like confusing. And we all know that we were, getting to the end of the time. We didn't know exactly when, but yeah, I think she was feeling the heat a little bit, and she was just being thoughtful. Maybe.
Do you think people are asking on a live chat what girls you're closest with in the house? Was she one of them?
What's funny? Whenever people ask me that, I always say I was close with each one in a different way.
Okay.
Like, I feel like we were all so different, and as far as I know, there weren't any like two people that were like, oh, we're just so much alike, we're besties. But I appreciated, and like I had, like with Alicia, I can go, talk to her in a way that I think that she understands me, because I'm kind of emotional and she's, emotional. So we, kind of get each other in that sense. And then like with Alex, like she just is like, I can always count on her to just give it to me straight. Like she's just gonna like, be like, Ashley, this is what the deal is, and be like, oh yeah, that's true. So, yeah, so I love them all for different reasons, and I would say probably just equally, as close. A lot of the bungalow girls, that we got to see here and there, it was kind of a bummer because you didn't get to spend as much time with them after you left, but same with them. Like, I love them each the same, and just different ways,
Yeah, and to kind of go back to our thought before, I did reach out to Alicia, and she said the reason she didn't decide to go with Tyler was the distance kind of factored in, like you guys were saying, and also he expressed a desire to party and travel.
Yeah.
She's at a different stage in her
Yeah,
life.
she's looking for a husband, and you got to commend her for following her heart.
And they edited it out, but she did go down and talk with him by the helicopter.
Oh, she did?
Yeah, so there was a little bit of a conversation. And I'm sure you know that we're talking about this. There is still a mutual friendship, I think, and respect through all the couples. And that is something that is great to see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
They cool.
And
They cool.
I was really proud of her for owning that, when she said on the show, he's the perfect guy, but I'll be 40 by the time he's at the stage that I'm at now.
Exactly.
And I'll be at a different stage in 10 years. So I got to find somebody
Who's
closer,
Like
in my same stage.
24-year-old Alicia probably would have went for him, but she's at a different...
Yeah.
that's what she said. Yeah, the pageant girl would have done it, but you're in a different stage of life, and that's
I
what life
felt
is.
bad that he felt he was played.
Yeah.
The way that they,
I don't
at
know
least
how
from
much
what they
of that
show
was-
us.
I don't know why he said that. I don't know. I don't get.
I think that showed a little
I think
maturity, but I don't know how much of that was.
Well, when
him
you're hurt, you
versus
say
editing
things that
in.
you don't mean, and maybe that's one of
That
Yeah.
One
it
thing
sounds
that-
like that when it's the heat of the moment and you're
Yeah,
like,
but the
really,
whole
you left
play
me
thing
at
is
the
kinda-
helicopter, all right.
Maybe it's just me, but I think he'll get over it pretty quickly.
I think he's probably over
How
it.
many months has it been? He's probably over it.
Yeah,
He's
he's
in
fine.
Europe right now, based on his Snapchat.
Is he?
He's,
Oh, he's
off.
Doing
He's
all right.
doing just fine.
And of course,
So
we
not too
had
worried.
Jeffrey and Alex, and this was an interesting one because
Yeah.
we all had kind of a different perspective
Mm-hmm.
on what would happen. And it was crazy because she walked down there and we were all hyped up, like, yeah, she came for him. And then lo and behold, she kind of let him know her true feelings. So, how did you guys feel about that? Was that a good approach?
I think throughout, I commend Alex for sticking to her beliefs.
Yes.
And, it was
Absolutely.
very important. And even talking about when her friend was there, I believe it was her friend, right? She had...
Alex had
Yeah, her friend.
Alex
Taylor,
had
her best friend.
Taylor,
Oh,
and really
oh,
talked about the Christianity. And, I think it's important. I think that's a very important thing for a couple that could be a big breeding ground for fights. And I think it's something that a lot of people overlook. And you just say, oh, let me just move past it because of, he does have, B, C, D, and E. But he doesn't have A. And A is a pretty important thing.
Yeah.
So I commend her for sticking to her beliefs and standing up. And again, saying he's a fantastic guy again.
Yeah.
He's really nice, fantastic.
And
just doesn't have that.
to piggyback off of that, I also love that she actually went for him in the beginning of, when he approached her, even though they don't have the same faith. So it showed growth. I felt that she was still open-minded, realizing that there's still great people, there's still opportunities to learn and grow with and from somebody that doesn't have everything the same as you. And I think she did learn from that experience with Jeffrey, without having to sacrifice her beliefs and things that are important to her. But
In reaching out to a lot of the couples that are not here tonight, just to be able to say, what are your final thoughts? She first says, Team Josh.
What up, Alex? What up?
And she says that she's very happy by her decision to walk down and talk with him. And just that it was, kind of moving in a couple different directions where he's in Chicago with his kid and she's in Louisville and she maybe wants to move up markets maybe in radio and she didn't want him to have to move with his kid. That's always tough. And so there's still a good friendship there, but it just wasn't right
Meant to be
relationship
romantically.
and romantically.
Yeah.
So,
and it was
still,
cool that she said all of that to him because really she could have
Yeah.
just said nothing.
especially him.
Yeah.
I think of all the guys, he's the one because he's so romantic minded that I think that closure was really necessary for him, and I thought it was cool that
And he
she
took-
recognized that in the little bit of time they did have. She
Absolutely.
saw that in him.
And so let's move on. We got Alex and Lindsay too, which I think we kind of all
Yeah.
saw this one coming. They
That was
were
the
our
easiest
veteran
one.
couple. I mean, they were the first ones
Yeah.
to couple
You think
off.
that was the easiest?
Yeah.
I think Brandon and Titi were the easiest.
Yeah, that was.
I was having a heart
We've
attack
had
after
faith
last
in
week.
you guys.
I was like, no,
Yeah.
no.
Did that come as a shock to either of you, Ashley or Brandon?
Nah, not to me.
You knew they were gonna both
Yeah.
couple.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
you could tell in that yoga session, right?
Oh, that was pretty early on too.
Yeah, I feel like they were accurately portrayed throughout the whole show. I don't think there was anything.
Here's the thing: both being from California too. I talked last week about the distance. The
Yeah.
distance is
Very
huge.
important.
I think
That's
it's
important.
huge for you and Titi. I mean, maybe you
Absolutely.
can talk about that more. That's a big thing that you look at.
Absolutely, yeah. Distance, I mean, you gotta cuddle. You gotta have somebody to cuddle with.
So true.
And I mean, I'm sure there's long distance relationships that have work now, but for me, you have to be close to me, and even with LA traffic is difficult, but gotta make it work.
The struggle is real.
Yeah.
It's so real.
Lindsay says that she's incredibly happy that she went on the show. She loved, obviously she said from day one that her and Alex had a connection, and just was very happy with the friends, first and foremost, that she made on the show. She's like, I was so relieved in the end to know that my best friend was there waiting by the helicopter.
Oh, wow.
It was
Amazing.
fantastic.
Nice.
Swoon.
And so she
Yeah.
also said her favorite part in this episode was when her friend Danielle came. I mean, she was one of the first ones that
Yeah.
got surprised.
That's got to be
No,
the
she
best.
wasn't. She
news
wasn't.
ever.
the
Not
first
first.
one.
She was the first one.
Yeah, so she said that was just incredible. And I know she actually did an interview in San Diego
Yeah.
with Fox 5 this morning, and her friend Danielle was there, and she was tweeting out about it, that how special that was. You know, that her friend would
get to share it.
travel, that her friend would sacrifice so much to come to an island and live in Beyonce's
Everybody
house.
needs a Danielle as a friend.
That is
So,
so
how
true.
long were they there? I mean, did you get more time than they show us you get?
No, they were gone right after.
So they literally, you got what, like 3-4 hours?
Yeah, if that.
Really?
Did they even
Did
feed
they-
them?
Did they leave? Did they just spend a
Trust
couple
give them
nights?
some drinks and send them on their
No
way.
drinks.
They
no,
had crafty.
No
You know
ketchup
they did.
afterwards,
Just in and out.
in and out.
Dang.
I would have missed my flight. I'm telling you
Yeah.
that much.
Could have been
my
hiding
goodness.
under the
Not
bed or
going
something.
back.
And of course, we had the highly anticipated moment between Brandon and Titi tonight.
So happy.
You came out ready for action. You had the awesome outfit on
Yep.
for the island. So, how did you prepare for that moment? And were you kind of freaking out before you went out, or were you feeling like my girl's gonna be waiting there for me?
I always try to remain confident. I'm a confident person,
Right.
but I was a little nervous. I mean, you know, I just kept thinking about all the things we went through, and I was just thinking, you know, is this the right decision for me and my lifestyle? But you know, I was nervous, and you know,
It's 'cause you cared.
And the fact that absolutely, and the fact that we didn't get to spend that last night together and talk and see where each other's heads were, it was tough. It was just like, just out of nowhere, my
And
mind started racing.
You left the guys earlier or first, from what we
Yeah,
see.
catch some Z's.
Yeah.
Did you really ever get any sleep that night? I mean, any of you?
No, I ended up talking to myself. I found myself talking to myself
Man.
all night. But yeah, it was tough to sleep. I just had to clear my mind because everything just rushed and just hit me at once. So it was actually brilliant. The dynamics of the show was brilliant because I learned a lot about myself, you know, and how to mend a relationship and stuff like that. So my whole main objective through that process was to do the right thing and make it work between me and Titi, and that's what we're doing.
How long were you by the helicopter for?
It felt like eternity, but probably
Sun
about.
beating down on you.
It was so hot, I was burning.
Just
But,
sweating.
I was down there for about 15 minutes.
Oh,
Wow.
why did they
Well,
do
'cause
that
they
to you?
gotta, like,
I don't know if she wasn't ready or I didn't know what was going on. I should have asked that.
Just getting
because
shots by the water. That's all they were doing.
Maybe
The
she was having
production crew.
second thoughts. or
Yeah,
something.
they had to get you down
Yeah.
there, get everything else out of the photo,
Yeah.
get the shots of you.
Right. It was.
Get
was
the, get
Let
the
him
shots
sweat a
of
little,
15
you know.
minutes.
wow. Yeah, it was
Oh,
hot.
man.
No wonder. I mean, like, I don't know. 5 minutes can be a long time when you. I don't know.
Yeah,
Like,
that
When
can
I'm
your
on a
thoughts are
treadmill,
racing.
and 1 minute is a long time. So
Right.
15 minutes waiting for the person that
Yeah, I
you
was-
want to
I
share
thought
your
I
life
was gonna be
with.
alone, so I started preparing myself. But it worked out.
Just
so.
in the nick of time.
Ashley, what was the like house's thoughts on BT? Not BT. I'm sorry, Brandon and TT.
Brandon and Titi.
Yeah.
Well, first of all,
Kind of a
you
BT.
can't stop.
You can't stop staring at the two. I mean, every single, like, I felt like a creeper. Like, we'd be, like, all hanging out by the pool, and I'm just like, you know, they're just, I think even someone says this in, like, one of the episodes, how, like, they're just, like, you look at them and you're like, I want that. They were, so they had the cuteness and stuff, especially because, like, TT's so small when they'd be in the pool. He just would, like, lift her up and she would, like, shoot a basket. But then, like, you know, we see, too, like, they're both really good, genuine people. And so when they are able to, you know, just talk about their relationship and kind of like jump those hurdles and stuff, it's also like very admirable. Like you just like there's so many good qualities of their relationship that I'm like, I like that. I want to have that too. So yeah. So I think that everybody in the house was just like loved them.
No
How could
brainer.
you not?
Thank you, Ash.
I want to know because you didn't leave on a boat or in a helicopter in the same way that everybody else did, and it was kind of brought up that it was sort of a quiet exit.
Yeah.
Was that a choice that you made that you just kind of wanted to go on your own?
No, it's just kind of like, well, first of all, it was not planned. I mean, at all. I had no idea either. So the fact that it just kind of happened quickly, you know, talked with Terrence and then talked with BT and, you know, felt good after having a conversation with him. And then just, yeah, they got me just a ride. So, and I even say that too. I'm like, you know, I never thought that I would be leaving in like my grubbies and like my swimsuit. When you go on a show like that, like you have hopes to leave in the pretty dress and in the helicopter or the boat or whatever. But that didn't happen. But it's okay. I was really glad to get that closure with BT and to have that conversation. So I just kind of took a normal ride.
Do you still talk to BT to this day?
Yeah, are you close? People are asking that on the live chat here.
What's that?
People are asking on the live chat, if you still talk to him, are you still close?
Yeah, I have loads of respect for BT. We haven't stayed super close. And it's okay. It's okay. We, I think that we both realized, when we first got back, like chatted, a little bit. And I think after leaving, a situation like that and you come back home, you're kind of like, what the heck just happened? Yeah. And so you feel like you need to have some more conversation. And so we have since then, had a couple conversations and we're both as far as I can't speak for him exactly, but like I'm, at peace with it. And we're just kind of, going about our lives. And I'm really grateful for the time that I had with him and the learning experience and all that. But so there's absolutely no hard feelings. It's just not where we're at this point.
Well, we're so happy to see you sticking to your heart and just following whatever it is that pushes you forward in the best way.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for being on, Ashley. And, of course, give them your social media one more time before we end our call with you.
Yeah, Instagram is Ashley R-E-I-T-Z, so it's Ashley R. Reitz. And then on Twitter, I think it's just Ashley Reitz.
Yes, okay,
we'll figure it out. It's Ashley Reitz.
Say too,
it's
I was never a
Ashley
Twitter
Reitz.
user until this whole thing, so I've come a long way. I'm gonna have a long way to go, but I've come a long way.
It's her Twitter is it's Ashley Reitz.
Yes,
it's Ashley Reitz.
And by the way, thank you for posting our clip last week. I was like, oh my gosh, I went on your page and sure enough, there's my face.
I'm just gonna say maybe I didn't fall in love on Coupled, but I fell in love with the AFTERBUZZ crew.
Oh,
so.
And we love you. We've always called you a
We'll
gem
rock all season,
along.
Ashley. It was a pleasure meeting you.
Yeah, if you're ever in LA, let us know.
Yeah, absolutely.
For sure, I absolutely will. I love LA.
Good.
Well, thank you again, Ashley. We'll talk
Thank
to
you
you
for
soon.
joining us.
Thank you, guys.
Oh man.
So we'll quickly move on into our news and gossip because we got to also include Brandon in this one. But go ahead.
Yeah. No. A lot of people are asking. I kind of tease it off to the end. People are wondering who is still together and who is not. Can't officially say for the couples that are the couple that is not here until after the show ends on the East Coast and reaching on the West Coast. Sorry, you're right. So a lot of people asking about Lindsay and Alex. She will reveal that in her Twitter, which is Lindsay_tour, I believe. In reaching out to Lisa, they can't officially reveal the status, but Lisa says, you could just say that I couldn't be happier with my decision. The couple journey was absolutely incredible, and it's been amazing to continue getting to know Ben off set.
Hint, hint.
So read that however you will. And
I'm sure on Twitter somewhere, both her and Ben will make that pretty clear.
Yeah,
maybe not in an official announcement.
Absolutely, and a lot of people, wondering about you and Titi.
Brandon and
You're very
Titi.
close in LA, still seeing each other.
What's the next date on the agenda?
Well, me and Titi, we definitely been going through things and getting to know each other and getting accustomed to each other's lifestyle. But we've been having fun, just been low key, kind of, doing a lot of movie dates and having good times of that nature. So it's been great so far, It's still been some kind of, mishaps and misunderstandings sometimes, but, like you see on the show, we still overcoming a lot of things. And
Do you go visit her at Disney?
we haven't
low key.
We haven't went there yet because of the fact that we weren't.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true. That would
Now
make
you're
sense.
I'm going to Disney tomorrow. Let's all go to Disney.
I know. I was gonna say.
Hey, you guys
Are you
can
gonna
come
go to Disney?
anytime.
Oh my god.
Before
Yeah,
the
it's gonna
Tower
be
of
fun.
Terror closes, me
Yes.
and Titi were
Oh my
talking about
gosh.
last week.
Do you have a pass? I have a pass.
I don't, but I'm gonna get one for that reason.
Hey, Titi can get 3 people in for free every time.
And I have a, oh my
He
gosh,
knows the
I have
number.
a pass. One
We are going to Disney.
Because
I don't think I'm trying to get in a costume there, but I don't think it's gonna be enough,
Oh my goodness.
they're gonna have to have one like custom made at this point. You're so tall.
Giant life, it is what it is.
Yes. So one of your best dates that I have to bring up because it was epic in every regard was paddle boating.
Oh man.
Oh my god!
Please tell us your side of the story.
Listen, if you ever want to know if you can make it through a relationship, go paddleboarding and go canoeing and kayaking. I should say kayaking.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Because I mean, hey, it wasn't the best experience paddleboarding for me.
Oh my god!
But it was great because, and that's one thing I liked about Titi. I got to watch her, work her way through the situation as far as the excursion. So I learned from her in that moment, and it didn't really get a chance to show it on set, on television, but I was actually happy that I got to watch her do that and learn from her in that sense, because then I got up and I figured it out.
She said you were pretty confident.
I'm so confident. and it is what it is, but
I mean, you're an athlete, so you get a pass.
the thing about it is I tried to surf on it. I mean, I always wanted to surf, so at first I'm trying to surf, and they're like, no, get down this way. And then, but hey, listen, if I do it now, I'll be a pro.
He's
So
ready.
we're gonna go back.
It's a challenge.
We're gonna go back,
go.
and we're gonna do it again.
That's the next date right there.
Yeah. Because it was fun, though. It was definitely fun.
So what would be your dream date with Titi? If money or time or a place was not a factor, you could just say, I don't even care if it's in history. Like,
Lunch
what
in
would be your ideal?
Lunch in public.
Well,
Not at this point.
since we've done a lot of excursions, like first time excursions between us two, I think I want to jump out of plane with her.
What's left?
I think
I know a guy.
It's something that I always wanted to do, and I think she'll be willing to do it, and why not do it with her?
Don't do it like the one guy this week who did it without
No
a parachute.
I saw that guy.
From 25,000 feet to land at 100 by 100 net. Come on.
I
We
know.
won't do
Bless
that.
his heart.
No, I don't know that guy.
First time ever.
I know a different guy with parachutes.
That happened in the LA area, though. That's where it took
Did
place.
he live?
Yeah.
Yeah, he landed.
he landed
was
in
the
the
first one
area.
ever. He hit 100 by 100 net. He was going about 150 miles an hour. Flipped over on his back and landed in the net.
Wow.
So impressive.
we
What's
won't
that
do that.
other thing that you could do? It's like a slide up on the top of a building.
Yeah, the U.S. Bank Tower.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
so in case you're not feeling the skydiving day, that's another option, and they just created a slide. I don't even
It's
know.
like a glass slide so you can see through it. It's like the 70th
100
floor.
story, yeah, 70 stories
That's
up.
cool.
Like I think it's like from the 80th floor to the 70th floor, something like that, in one of the bank buildings here in LA.
Yeah.
Well, bring it on. Me and Titi can
So
do anything.
I
I'm
would
so
love
happy.
it.
I
If
love
we see
it.
them on that ride, please send us a picture.
I'm excited just to see like you guys able to post photos together now.
Well, I have on my social media just from the couple.
couple.
But,
Yeah,
but I
but
mean
like
like
afterwards,
today,
yeah, partying it up, living it up, having a good time. I'm a fun guy. I like to have fun. They didn't have no
seen it.
music on set, but I got a few dance moves that I ain't break
Oh,
out.
Okay. All right.
We
That's
have
on the
some
no
fun.
filter show.
We made a long list of like to-dos with TT, so we're gonna have to get some of yours in there too.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm
He's a baller
spontaneous.
too. I was telling him there's an Instagram baller who's like really famous. He has like 1.2 million
When you say
followers.
baller, do you mean like basketballer?
Basketballer.
Okay, I'm a little
We
slow.
know the lingo over here. And
I'm just clarifying for the fans that don't know what it is.
But his name is B-Dot. He's got like 1.2 million. He does a lot of impressions, stuff like that. And Brandon's been in a lot of his videos. They're friends. And so you can catch him on there. It's pretty funny.
Yeah,
a lot
shout
of
out to
stuff,
B-Dot.
man.
He's a genius, a good friend of mine. And what he's doing with basketball and his impersonation has changed the game. So I'm just happy to be a
brand
part
is
of that.
incredible.
Yeah,
So-
absolutely.
Well, and I don't know if what you do here with basketball has anything to do with him,
yeah.
but tell us a little bit about what you're doing in LA with basketball.
Well, I do player development, so individual training with inspiring athletes who want to play professional, or some who actually play over there right now, just to develop their game. I like to give advice, I like to help. So as you all know,
Yeah.
so why not give what I'm best at out to other people? And
I don't know, you might be best at advice with
Ah.
relationships.
I think we need a
That
weekly
is-
Brandon advice.
I agree.
Oh my gosh.
Hey, I'm all for
Let's
it.
get that going.
Yeah, and then being out here in LA has been great. I've been doing new things. I've done some print modeling as well, so that's been pretty fun. Yeah,
cool.
Athletic modeling, so it's been pretty fun and easy for me. So.
We gonna see you in the ESPN body issue next year or what?
Hey, hopefully. I will.
That's the goals, right? So thank you guys so much for watching this entire season. I can't believe it's coming to an end.
We haven't heard back on a renewal for next season. We can
I
hope
know.
It'll be renewed.
We're thinking
Mark
Burnett.
Yeah.
We're thinking it'll be renewed. But 30-second overall thoughts on the show. First, first season.
I loved it. I'm like, this is my go-to show. I've watched The Bachelorette, The Bachelor, and it's all great, but this was a really nice switch up, and the people were so cool, and the fact that we got to meet so many people from the show was incredible, and every person was so nice and giving, and they all had these like great big hearts. So it was really pleasantly surprising.
Yeah, I'll say the same thing, pleasantly surprised. I mean, this is not a television show that I would normally watch. I'll just be completely honest with you guys, and I enjoyed it. I really did. I found myself rooting for everybody. There was not one person on the show who I was against or who I didn't like even through the whole like Team Alex, Team Alicia thing. I didn't not like Alicia. I just
in the situation.
In that situation. Yeah. But I was rooting for every single one of them. I wanted every single one of them to be happy, and it was cool to see everybody get along. I was expecting to have those stereotypes, like the mean one, the plastic one, like all that. Yeah. And they didn't have, like, everyone was like really cool in themselves. And I think that's what I liked most about the show.
I thought that with what Ashley was saying, every girl was so different, but you don't see the cat fights. I mean, there's of course the feud between Alex and Alicia in the one episode. Totally not a personality thing, though. I felt like it was just more like a circumstance that anybody might get kind of suckered into that sort of an argument.
That happens.
For me, it took me a few episodes. It took me probably till about episode 3 to kind of like really sink in because there's so many people to get invested in. But episode 3 on, I mean, I was all in, and I'm really hoping for a second season. And we've kind of talked about this a little bit. I would love to see the reverse, where the guys are the ones in the bungalows and the girls are flown in.
I would too.
Make it rain.
I would too. I mean, because there were some issues at the bungalow that were edited, and I think that was brilliant for the show because it showed the different dynamics, how women can get together and become a sorority.
Yeah.
And then they start losing, what they really came there for, and that made it difficult for them to even make their decisions. So I think the dynamic of the show was brilliant.
Guys, I got some news for you. I actually was, tapped, and I'm actually going to be on the show. And you know what? I already got the pants.
It wouldn't be a finale without the pants, I tell you.
Pants. There we go.
I'm also team colored pants too.
Ready to go.
Yes.
So
thank you, Michael. We needed that.
Do you have any season?
Your final thoughts,
Good show. I'd like to see the reverse. I think that as someone pointed out here, it's a wholesome version of The Bachelor. I think it's a little more real because you don't have to, have a proposal after 5 weeks.
And
you
you're
can
not
just
using
be
25
dating,
people.
and it's more real. So I appreciated that, and I think it's good. I think it had a little trouble this year being matched up with The Bachelor, kind of on similar nights.
Yeah. Different day.
I think you put it on a couple more days apart, maybe a different time in the season. It will do better, but yeah, overall I liked it.
We have high hopes for season number 2. So thank you, Brandon, for being here.
Thank
Give me
you
your
all for
social
having me.
media once more time.
You can catch me on all social media. That's Facebook, Instagram, Twitter at Brandon Smith TV, BrandonSmith TV.
Awesome. All right, guys, and be sure if you miss any of our episodes, you can watch us on AfterBuzzTV.com, YouTube or iTunes. Leave us a 5-star rating or a thumbs up if you like what you see. And once again, I'm your host, Samantha Benitz. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Samantha_Benitz, BENITZ. And where can they find you, Josh?
I am Josh Rodriguez. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Josh_Rodriguez_. It was a pleasure, guys. I enjoyed every episode that we did together.
Agreed. Courtney Henderson, you can find me at Cohen, COUHEN, on Instagram and Twitter.
Michael Clouse, you can follow me on Instagram at @TheOnlyMC, on Twitter at Michael Clouse TV. Thank you to all our
One more time with the pants, please. One more time.
Here we go.
Bye, guys.
They're growing on me. They're growing on me.
Thank you.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.